I know, it's been forever. It's been more than 2 months since I last filmed one of these videos. Time seems to just be flying lately, and I've got so much shit going on all the time. I'm never just at home doing nothing, but I am right now. So I figured I would try and get one of these filmed and edited today and try and post it tomorrow. Let's just get into it, because I don't want to waste a bunch of time, and I'm kind of eager to have another one of these videos to edit. So let's do it. Starting off, this is what we're listening to. This is the newest Ultra Sylvum album, The Sanctity of Death. This was sent to me by the guy who runs Shadow Records, Regain Records. He sent me a copy of the newest Majestic Mass album, which I think I actually showed on one of these videos already. But yeah, he threw this in there, which was very kind of him, and this is a great fucking album, so link in the description. Alright, so no theme or anything like that today. We're going to be talking about a few different styles, and we're going to be looking at some first presses today, alongside some newer stuff that I really think everybody should go listen to. Starting off here is an album that I'm fucking thrilled to own, and when I started buying first presses, this was on the initial list of records that I knew I really wanted to get. This thing has only been pressed properly with a jacket and everything once, though it did get a picture disc press. Even that was like 30 years ago. And I am talking about this. This is Monstrosity with Imperial Doom. Monstrosity, Florida-based death metal band, formed in 1990. And this is the debut album from 1992. And this band never really, at least in my experience, it doesn't seem like this band really rode out the kind of popularity that a lot of the other like Florida death metal bands did. This album is definitely like a classic death metal album, but at least, like I said, from my experience, it kind of seems like everything after this really didn't, like, earn the acclaim that the debut did. And I might be wrong about that. To be honest, I haven't heard more than the first 2 Monstrosity records, I think. So I don't know if the albums after that are, like, abject dog shit, or maybe they're really good and I just don't know. One of those things, I guess, when you get into like death metal and stuff in the 2000s, you know, you've got a huge backlog and so many bands and stuff, and this is kind of one of those bands that for the most part flew under the radar. Though from the very first time I heard the debut, I was super into it. So like I said, this is the very first press of this one. There was a picture disc press, like I mentioned, that was out, I think through Rock Brigade or something, in 1993, so 30 years ago. But this is the original 92 press on Nuclear Blast. And I'm pretty sure that this is the very first full-length album ever with Corpse Grinder on vocals. Of course, Corpse Grinder did some stuff before this, but I think this might be the first full-length album featuring Corpse Grinder vocals. And if you've ever heard this album, maybe it's just me, but if I didn't know that it was Corpse Grinder, I don't know that I would be able to, like, tell you that it was Corpse Grinder on vocals. It just doesn't seem like he really kind of found the iconic Corpse Grinder sound that we hear pretty much through all the Cannibal Corpse stuff. And there are some other members that played on this album from some other pretty like notable death metal bands: Cynic, Atheist, Malevolent Creation, etc. But this record musically, I don't feel like I need to talk too much about it. I love the really short bursts of blast beats. There's some really good guitar work on here, awesome solos. The album from front to back has really good energy. I love this one, man. I was excited to get this one. It's very memorable. It's just a good record. So let me show you what it looks like. There's the album cover right there. It's basically just like early death metal in an album cover. I like it. There's the back cover right there. Like I said, put out through Nuclear Blast. You got all the track listing, more artwork. Very cool. This comes with an inner sheet. You've got a shot of the band there. You got Corpse Grinder in the middle. some credits and stuff like that, thanks, whatever. And on the back you have all the lyrics. The vinyl itself is just black, but if you want to see the labels, that's what they look like. This thing's in pretty nice condition for, you know, being as old as it is. No seam splits, no big bends or anything like that, so I'm stoked on it. But yeah, man, in terms of like individual albums, this one is up there with like death metal royalty. I like this one a lot, and I'm sure most of you watching this have heard it, but if you haven't, give it a shot. That's Monstrosity with Imperial Doom. This is a new project, and I'm pretty sure that this is just a one-man project here. And I totally gushed about this EP when it first came out. I had the tape release that was put out through Lowland Fires. But when Phantom Lore announced that there would be a vinyl press, I was over the moon. And I'm talking about this. This is Grinning God with Sardonios. So, Grinning God is, I think, a one-man project, but I could be wrong. It at least is the vocalist and mesher from Rope Sect, and this is, in some parts, very similar to Rope Sect, in the sense that it's got a very death rock influence to it, and you can absolutely tell it's the same guy doing vocals. But Grinning God includes a lot more like harsh black metal-y style vocals, in with the typical sort of clean-sung vocals that this guy's known for. And it's a fucking wonderful mix. I have no complaints about this. The song on here, The Demiurge in Creation, is the song that really like sort of made me like realize like, holy fuck, I love this. But this is an extended version of from the tape release. So there are 2 extra songs. There's Divine Decadence and Arrow of Wrath. The song Arrow of Wrath is entirely clean vocals. And that might be my favorite track on this thing. I absolutely love it. I have listened to that song I don't know how many times, but it's wonderful. And if you really like the Rope Sect stuff, that's the most similar to like a Rope Sect song. But that and the Demiurge in Creation, man, you can't beat it. So, I'll show you what this looks like. There's the front cover there. It's just kind of a high contrast, like grainy photo of somebody with their hair in their face. They are smiling, which is nice. The back cover, maybe the same person, probably the same person. Big old grin on his face, hair in the face as well. I love it. All the track listing and stuff, like I said, this was put out through Phantom Lore, and this was, I think, 3 different versions of this. I think, well, maybe it was just 2. Maybe it was red. Yeah, I think it was just 2. There was a red version, and then this kind of marbly clear version. And I think it was limited to 100, but I might be wrong about that. Anyway, this includes some additional artwork and all of the lyrics on the other side of the inner sheet. But yeah, man, total banger from front to back. I have loved both releases that this project has put out so far. This one and the split with Spider God. Really, really fantastic stuff. I'm excited to see whatever comes next. You have to listen to this one. Undeniable banger. Grinning God, Sardonios. Already had to change memory cards. I love it. I love it. Next up, we're going to talk about another newer release. This one came out at least on YouTube last May, but there was never any physical press of it until this. And I have been looking forward to the physical press of this since I heard it, because I am absolutely in love with both of these projects. This is a split between the Gates and Barros. And I mean, you guys have heard me talk about both of these projects. Barros a few times, the Gates only once, because this is the only other release from the Gates besides the full-length album of Pandemonium, I think. I might be wrong. Something's telling me I'm missing something. But in terms of the physical stuff, I'm pretty sure there is nothing besides this and the Of Pandemonium full-length album. And I have a couple of the Barros LPs as well. The Barbados Productions one is like the limited to 50 copies. I've talked about both of them. So I'm really stoked on this. I love this split. I love both of these projects. They're kind of two distinct takes on like psychedelic rock mixed with black metal. Of these two, I actually prefer the Gates. The full-length album that the Gates did is like a 10 out of 10 record for me. But the Gates is a bit more atmospheric and kind of like grandiose sounding, whereas Barros is a lot more like cacophonous and kind of aggressive sounding. Both of these projects kind of do the harsh, clean vocal trade-off, which I really like. Both sides of this split are super catchy in their own ways, though I do definitely prefer the songs from the Gates. Show you what this looks like. So the Gates side, kind of a cool picture actually. It's like a moon with like a demon head. As above, so below, you can see there. This does come with an Obi strip, because it was put out through Go to Warex, and the Barros side looks like that. It's definitely the same artist who does all the stuff for Barros, because it's all definitely the same style of art. All the Barros stuff is it's in Russian, so I don't know what this side is called. But yeah, also you might not be able to tell from the video, but the jacket is like super sturdy, which I appreciate. This does come with an inner sheet. There's the Gates side there. I really love this. Yeah, I like this photo here. Very cool. And the Barros side, it's more that kind of cartoony artwork, but I really dig it. And the vinyl itself is purple. 100 copies, purple vinyl. Very nice. So, yeah, man, really no reason to go too much more into this. You guys get it. If you like this kind of stuff, you've probably already heard this. If you don't, this ain't gonna change your mind. Absolute banger. The Gates split with Barros. Check it out. We're going to talk about another first press of a death metal album from the early 90s. It's actually not an album, it's an EP. From another kind of classic death metal band, and I've been meaning to pick up the debut full-length album from this band for a while, but I'll get there, it'll happen. By the way, this might just be a Midwest thing, but Ale 8, fucking bomb. Every time I get a 6-pack of these, they're gone like that. I love it. Anyway, this is an EP that came out in 1992, the year after the debut album. And I'm talking, of course, about this. This is Massacre with Inhuman Condition. So obviously From Beyond is kind of like an early death metal staple. Definitely a classic death metal album. And I would say that Massacre got a bit more popular than Monstrosity ever did. But this early Massacre stuff is so fucking good, dude. Like, this EP, I love it. It's a pretty short EP. There's only 4 tracks on here, and one of them is a cover. Orlok is pushing everything off the couch. I love that. The song Warhead is a Venom cover, and it's cool because Kronos is actually on the track, too. You guys know I'm anything but like a big Venom fan, but I do like this version of that track. This album is packed full of high energy, absolute banger fucking riffs. This thing, besides the riffs, I love the vocals on this EP. The bass is super audible. Everything about it is great. This EP absolutely fucks. Like I said, only like 20 minutes long. But I'm telling you, man, if you've got 20 minutes to spare and you haven't heard this, just play it all the way through because this shit is great. I love the album cover. Really, really cool album cover. The back cover is kind of just a zoomed in shot of this guy here. Very, very cool. You do have the track listing up here in the corner, though it kind of blends in, sort of hard to see. This was put out through Earache Records, I think it was. Yeah, Earache Records. I knew that, sorry. The vinyl itself is just black, so I'm not going to pull it out. Actually, I will, because the second side has a photo of Kronos there. Yeah, like I said, I've been meaning to pick up a first press of From Beyond for a little while. I have a pressing of From Beyond already from Earache in like 2014. I think it's like half green, half pink or something like that. So if you guys remember the full dynamic range or whatever, Earache presses of From Beyond from like 2014, I have one of those. But this shit's awesome. I'm sure you've heard it, but if not, you absolutely must. Everything about it's great. That's Massacre with Inhuman Condition. This is another, well, it's actually not new, but it's newer. It's not like an early death metal record or anything like that. This actually came out back in 2013. This is Varden with Lifeless Shadow. So this project was born in Italy in like 1997. And this is the fourth full-length album from 2013. But the thing about this project is around that time, the volume of like releases absolutely skyrocketed. This band has so many releases, and they were kind of more spread out between like 97 and 2012 or something. But after that, it has just been like release after release after release. And I think at this point we're talking about like more than 30 full-length albums. And like I said, this was the fourth one from 2013. So I have absolutely no idea if all of it is good. I have not heard even most of it. But I do know that this record is fucking great. It's 4 tracks of, like 4 long tracks of melancholic, like depressive black metal, super sort of hypnotic riffs, loud croaky vocals. It's got everything you'd want in like depressive black metal. It's wonderful. I was clued into this project by Craig, who put this record out through his label Bestial Rape Records. I'll show you what this looks like. There's the front cover there. It's a border. I don't know the significance of this house or building or whatever, but there's the Varden logo up there. So Craig reached out to me a while ago about this and basically asked him if I could provide any photography of snowy or foggy trees or something that he could use for this vinyl press, and I did. So the photo that's on the back cover and the inner sheet here is actually a photo that I took at Mount Rainier in Washington back at the end of 2021. But here's the back cover. You got the Bestial Rape logo there, track listing and the band logo again, and the inner sheet here is actually an extended part of the same photo, so you can kind of see like the photo is basically like that there. So I'm so fucking proud to like see a photo that I took on like a record jacket and a printed inner sleeve or a printed inner sheet for a vinyl pressing. It's so cool, and I wasn't sure that I'd ever actually see it, but I'm thrilled that I, finally get to. There is the other side there. You have a shot of the guy from the project there. Really, really cool stuff. Since I already have this shit pulled out, this is the test press. Craig sent me a test press of this as well. I have a 5 out of 5, if you can see it down there. I will show you this, because I like the way that Craig did the sort of, it's like a special kind of half jacket thing. But you see, there's the label, Bestial Rape, very cool. And the test press has like this little fold over thing, but nice shot of the guy, again, very cool. Anyway, the official like press of this has clear with black splatter. That looks fucking great. Really, really perfect with the album cover and everything. It looks super nice, and you could probably still get one of these through Nuclear War now. And I recommend that you do, because this shit is awesome. So, yeah, thrilled on this one, man. The music is great. I love that I got to contribute some photography to the pressing, like the packaging. Really, really kind of like a bucket list thing for me. So, very cool. Check this out. It's awesome. That's Varden with Lifeless Shadow. Alright, got two more for you. One of these is a first press, and one of them is like a brand new full-length album. But we're going to start with the first press. This is kind of like a grindcore staple. I knew this is my favorite album from this band for sure. This is Carcass with Symphonies of Sickness. So, this record is not in great condition. It was definitely graded a little bit too, like, generously. Because there are some pretty bad, like, dings on this, but I don't care too much. With these, like, early, like, original pressings of old death metal grindcore albums, like, I don't care about perfection. I think, like, a banged-up cover adds something, and I can't really put my finger on what, but I like it. Anyway, this is the second Carcass album from 1989, obviously following Reek of Putrefaction. And this is a pretty sharp, like, departure from Reek of Putrefaction. The thing about Carcass is, at least up to, like, Heartwork, or maybe even Swan Song, like, every album is kind of like a perfect bridge between the albums before and after it. Like, Symphonies of Sickness here is like a perfect bridge between Reek of Putrefaction and Necroticism, and Necroticism is kind of a perfect bridge between Symphonies of Sickness and Heartwork, and it works like that. But this band definitely became a lot more sort of like melodic with each record, and this is no exception. However, this one kind of maintains a sort of hint of like melody and song structures that you can kind of nod along to without kind of like missing the really nasty quality that makes Carcass so special. At least the early Carcass, because this band is so far removed from where they started at this point. But this album is my favorite of the Carcass stuff for sure. There are so many bangers on this album, and there are actually a lot of moments on this that are kind of like groovy, which didn't really exist in the same way on Reek of Putrefaction, and the production is a lot better, but it still sounds nasty. I would also say that this album is more like technical than the debut, but there's nothing that I dislike about this album. I like the groovy moments. I like the super nasty vocals that are very, very like specific to this record. The drums are great on this thing as well. Very kind of frenetic and chaotic. I love it. If I had to choose some favorite moments, Exhume to Consume might be my favorite song on here. The song Excoriating Abdominal Elimination is another one of my favorites. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just a banger. It's so good from front to back. The album cover is quite different than what you saw, obviously, on Reek of Putrefaction. It's just kind of like a guy's exploded head there. The back cover is very simple, and you can see this definitely, it looks like it kind of got, like it was stored in like a super humid area or something like that. It doesn't look like direct water damage, but it definitely got moist at some point. There's the gatefold, which is a lot more like akin to what was on Reek of Putrefaction, just like a super chaotic kind of like collage of I don't know, crime scene and autopsy photos or something. The lyrics are printed in here in blue. I don't know. I mean, you can't really read that. You got to get super close to it, maybe with a flashlight or something. You might be able to make it out, but just go to Metal Archives. You'll have an easier time. Another earache, obviously, it's Carcass. The labels are really simple, so I'm not going to pull it out. It's just black vinyl. I'm glad to own this one, man. And I'm going to grab Reek of Putrefaction and Necroticism for sure. the first presses of those. I dig it. Everybody likes this album, and if you haven't heard it, you will too. That's Symphonies of Sickness. Alright, let's finish this off. The last one here is a 2023 full-length album from a band that I really loved the other two releases from this band. This is the debut album. There was an EP from 2021, I think, and there was a split with Maleficent last year. Or maybe that was 2021. I don't remember. Anyway, this is Blootswear with Those of My Blood. I looked it up. The EP was from 2020, and the split with Maleficent was from 2021. Sorry. So basically, there's just a lot to love about this. The riffs are fantastic. The vocals are really good. Pretty much all of the instrumentation here is really, really good stuff. It's very catchy from front to back. There are some like kind of oi influenced songs here, especially the title track, Those of My Blood. But there's a lot of like fast and fiery moments on here, but it's all really good stuff. I'm stoked on this. And I don't know, I feel like this could probably like end up being quite a bit more popular than it is right now, because it just ticks so many boxes. And I'm really into it. I don't know, man, there's just some great moments on here, and I am really already excited to see what this project does next, because it ain't missed yet. So there is the front cover there. Kind of just a simple sort of like line drawing of a knight standing in like an archway by a castle tower or something like that. The back cover's got more of that same sort of art. There's the guy from the band there. That guy goes by Kriegsmesser. At the bottom it says, "My brothers by my sides as we brave the long night. This is our war, our never-ending fight, our pride, our mythology, our culture. We carry to our graves. You will not take it from us. Black metal is spiritual warfare." And also, looking here, it looks like there was a session drummer here, which I hadn't actually noticed that before right now. So, glad I looked at that. But this is just on black vinyl. I like that label there, like the knight helmet. And there's the other side. This does include a little booklet which has the lyrics in it, as well as some additional like medievally looking artwork. And this guy on the front looks super unimpressed. But I believe that this was limited to 200 copies. I don't remember exactly where I saw that, because I tried to look it up before I filmed this video, and I didn't see anything anywhere that said 200, but I feel like I remember that, so I figured I'd throw it out there just in case. But yeah, man, this shit is white hot, and I feel like most of the people watching these videos would absolutely love this. That is Blootswear with Those of My Blood. And that's it. That's 7 more records. This video is probably going to be a little bit longer than the last one. I know a lot of people after the last one said they liked the longer videos, so this probably will be a bit longer than that one. But I'm going to wrap it up, so thank you so much for watching. I'm always trying not to let there be a 2-month fucking gap between videos, but life is busy, so we will try and get back to this as soon as possible. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Later.